Snake, remember your camo index. Your stamina is pretty low. Do what you gotta do. Ah! Well, I told you. Do what you gotta do.
What's this hard mode? Another military-based cosplay guide, and it's not Resident Evil related for once? That's right everyone, Metal Gear Delta is right around the corner, and as expected, there'll be plenty of you out there eager to make a one-to-one accurate cosplay of Snake based on the third Metal Gear Solid game. This guide aims to highlight the authentic pieces of the equipment, while also acknowledging the existence of the more budget-friendly alternatives. Before delving into the details, it is essential to express my gratitude to Ace of Snakes, whose contributions as our body model and his own written cosplay guide have been instrumental in ensuring the accuracy of this video. So, let's get into it, shall we? First things first, the essential clothing. Ace of Snakes, take it off.
This here is a battle dress uniform reproduction of a tiger stripe Vietnam uniform. The one Snake uses is called an advisor cut BDU, which includes these top pouches, but does not have these waist pouches over here. And the one Snake has a cigarette pouch over here, which this one does not. Unfortunately, True Spec, the brand that made these ones, no longer produce these. They are actually a license out product from the company that makes this pattern called Tiger Stripe Products. What they do is they license out this pattern to companies that want to use it. You can probably go on Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy, eBay, and see if you can find these Tiger Stripe True Specs variants, as well as the pants is also True Spec as well. Same thing, Tiger Stripe Products. The difference between these ones and the one Snake uses is that it also has a cigarette pouch on one of the legs. Proper is another company that makes good tiger stripes. They don't look like this. They're not licensed out Tiger Stripe Products pattern, but they do look very nice, and they are very close to what Snake uses in-game as well. I would actually advise to get the same brand if you're doing tops and bottoms, because if you get one brand from one company and another brand for the other pants, the pattern's not going to match. So if you can find these ones from True Spec, highly recommend them. Otherwise, you can use whatever BDU you can find, as Snake uses lots of camouflages in the game.
For those struggling to locate these items, links will be provided on my Discord server, along with options for similar models available on AliExpress, Amazon, and other online stores. Links to the server will be in the description for this video and on the channel's homepage as well. For those seeking a vintage set of this BDU in a good condition, be prepared to invest upwards of $1,000. However, identical reproductions can often be found on eBay for approximately $140, though the price can vary. Given that Snake showcases various patterns throughout the game, cosplayers can have the flexibility to choose any pattern provided that both the coat and the pants come from the same brand. It's also really important to remember that a single pattern but from two different manufacturers can often look different and not match seamlessly, seeing how sometimes the colors can be slightly different or the pattern may have different spacing in between. For an added touch of authenticity, rolling up the sleeves just above the elbows is recommended. While it's not a strict requirement, this detail contributes significantly to capturing the essence of Snake's character. Now, onto the compression shirt. Just like Capcom, Konami occasionally throws in some original made designs to go with other items that actually exist. AliExpress currently doesn't have any manufacturers to my knowledge that reproduce them, so you'll have to make one yourself or buy something that looks similar. To achieve the desired look, one should seek a base layer compression shirt featuring a turtleneck or a mock turtleneck design. This turtleneck area is crucial as it serves as an anchor point for the throat mic. One of the more convenient places to find these shirts is Amazon or a local sporting goods store. A popular choice amongst cosplayers is the Henry Maurice. It's a brand available on Amazon, as depicted in the accompanying image. However, it's important to be mindful of the sizing, as most options online may follow Asian sizing standards. Ensuring the correct fit is essential for comfort and appearance as well as accuracy. When selecting a compression shirt, aim for the one without a logo. If you happen to find one that does feature a logo, there are always ways to remove it. For printed logos, applying acetone or nail polish remover and gently rubbing it repeatedly can effectively eliminate the unwanted design. If the logo is stitched on, Consider either unstitching it or coloring over it to maintain the shirt's clean aesthetic. Additionally, it's worth mentioning that compression shirt underwear is highly recommended. Not only do they enhance comfort, but they also contribute to the overall polished look. Next up are the gloves. Ace of Snakes, go right ahead.
This here are standard D3A gloves. You can get them anywhere, Amazon, Army surplus stores. These are replicas. These aren't the original ones from the NOM era. I wouldn't even recommend getting those, as it will just be a colossal waste of your money. Plus the fact that leather goods from then are probably all cracked and dried by now. You're going to want to cut the fingertips off of the pointer finger, middle finger, and your thumb. I'd say about this knuckle, the second one here, on your thumb and your two fingers. I would even recommend flipping these inside out first and then cut them, as you're going to want to stitch them closed, because if you don't stitch them, they're going to start coming undone. My stitching is already coming undone on these, so I have to reclose them. However, as I said, these are what you're going to want to get. They work well, they look well, that's all you really need.
For the gloves, you can buy the Rothko Leather D3A type gloves, which closely resemble the original, and they are readily available on Amazon. Next up are the knee sleeves. For optimal comfort and functionality, the copper fit knee sleeves is highly recommended. While these knee sleeves are notably thin, they lack padding, so cosplayers should keep in mind when considering their overall comfort. If the copper fit branding is undesirable, it can be easily removed using the acetone or nail polish remover technique, allowing for a cleaner appearance. Next up are the boots. Once again, Ace of Snakes, go right ahead.
This here are your Panama Sole Rothko jungle boots. These are replicas, as you can get these anywhere, and it's going to be the best bang for your buck. I do recommend getting them in olive drab, as that's the accurate color. And for the inside, you're going to want to add some soles for your feet, because if you wear these without any soles, your feet are going to bark. These have no support for your heel. That's why I highly recommend getting insoles for them. You're going to want to get whichever one fit your foot best, as we all have different size and styles of feet. As I said, you want to get these in olive drab. Not much to it, just your standard jungle boots, Panama sole, and it should cost you no more than like $50-$60.
Next up is the bandana, which is undoubtedly Snake's most signature accessory. It is absolutely mandatory to have, and if you don't want to wear one, then why are you wanting to make a Snake cosplay in the first place? Depending on the specific concept art or the in-game model that one wishes to emulate, the fabric of choice can range from olive drab to dark blue to bluish gray. Craft stores typically offer fabrics with a width of around 60 inches or 1.5 meters, which is more than ample for tying around the head. To ensure the adequate coverage of the brows and the forehead, it is advisable to measure the distance from the bottom of the brow to the hairline, double that measurement, and then add approximately half an inch for stitching or gluing the fabric together.
This is the Stabo Harness. It is a replica from Hub City Outdoors LLC. It is in black, which is what Snake uses in the game. The real ones were olive drab. You're not going to find a real one. Those practically don't exist anymore, and if you do find one, it's going to cost you at least $500 to $800 in okay condition. This one is made out of Type 17 mil-spec webbing, which is strong enough to hold up anybody in a real mission for extraction. However, I would not recommend using these, as these are made just for cosplay and LARPing purposes. I myself added some straps to the front that I can wrap around Velcro to help hold up the pistol belt, which is actually what Snake uses in the original game, Snake Eater. The pistol belt fits through here and the other side. This is your front side, and he actually uses tape to hold it up. I myself am not going to use tape because I like it to stay nice and clean and residue free. And on the back side as well is where the pistol belt's going to slip through to help hold it up on your back side. Another thing is that you can add Velcro to these two sides. This side's for the comms, the right side. The left side's where his knife's going to go. It's not necessary if you have other ways to get the pieces on, by all means, but this is just stick-on Velcro, so it can come off. This piece right here, this is the part of the cosplay that is going to make your cosplay. This is Snake's signature piece from the entire outfit, and if you want to get one thing accurate, you want this to be it. So this here is the M1956 pistol belt. It is the first issued pattern, as it has the horizontal weaves here, as opposed to the other one, which is vertical weaves going down. You can go with either one, but if you want accuracy, this is the one to go. It is also made out of canvas, as the later one is made out of nylon. They do come in medium and large and are adjustable, so you want to make sure you get the one that fits you well. And another way to tell is that it does have a brass ball style buckle in the front. This is going to go within the loops of your Stabo harness, and you will place your pouches here, here, backside, and right and left side and right side. Yeah, and this is you can get at any military surplus store. It's going to cost you a good amount of money, as these are hard to come by. As the years go by, all these parts get harder and harder to come by. But if you can find it, it's a great investment if you plan on doing Snake for the long run. So this is the M1956 Universal Small Arms Ammunition Pouch. This is the second pattern, which doesn't have the stiff front, which actually was preferred by soldiers back in Vietnam because it allowed them to carry more ammo clips in it. That's the front, the sides, the back, the bottom. It is very versatile, especially if using it in a convention. You can put your cell phone, keys, wallet, or anything else you want to put in it. You're going to want to get two of these, as that's what Snake has on the front of his belt. This is the 1956 Canteen cover. The first pattern, you can tell because it has a horizontal weave in the front of the pouch. As you can see, it is soiled from over the use of years, but I did get this pristine. It is really hard to come by to get these in good condition. Most of the time you are going to find them in very soiled condition due to them being used during the war for their canteens, storing water, other liquids, etc. If you do come by it, definitely get it regardless of what the price is if you find it in good condition, because you might not find it again. For the canteen itself, plastic. You can get these anywhere. You don't have to spend a pretty penny on them. In fact, I would not even recommend getting a original canteen from the Vietnam era, as they're probably dirty and not safe to use. You can also, for the cover itself, get the nylon issue, which I believe was issued in 1961. That is actually accurate to what Snake is using in Delta, as its nylon has the pouch over here for the cleaning tablets, and you can go with either one. You want to do original MGS3, go with this one. You want to go with Delta, go with the nylon one. This is the M1956 Combat Field Pack Buttpack, the first pattern. The one that's used in Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably the closest to this, as the one he uses does not look exactly like any American issued field packs. The one he uses in Delta is the 1961 Combat Field Pack. That one is a little larger, a little more spacious in the front and the sides. And the difference between that one and this one here is that one does have the rubber lining to keep its contents dry, as this one actually does not carry that on the inside. And this pattern was actually really disliked amongst most soldiers in the Vietnam era, but it does look really nice. It is very accurate to the original game, but like I said, you can go with either one, the 61 pattern or the 56 pattern. I would recommend either way to actually place a box on the inside to help give it its shape, so that you can have it look nice and pristine during conventions, and that way looks good and it still works. This here is a custom-made radio pouch to match the one Snake uses in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater and in Metal Gear Solid Delta. Unfortunately, the one Snake uses in both games are not real pouches. This was made using a 1945 field pack that I had to cannibalize to get enough canvas to make the basic shape and to have a flap in the front. I would recommend using any olive drab pack you can find to make this, as long as it has enough webbing. I will have a guide later on how to make this. As you can see, I didn't have enough to make the flap in the front, so I had to use another piece from the pouch to get this looking in the front. Had a nice stencil already. Got like 2 Alice clips here that I took from another pouch. Something to stitch across to get the clips holding there. And you can really see that my stitch job looks like crap, but you wouldn't be able to tell once it's on the belt. And you can even use a nice square buckle, or whatever buckle you have access to, so that you can have the webbing go through and close the pouch up. Although the radio pouch that Snake uses in-game is fictional, the item inside it, however, is not. What he uses in the game is called an ANPRT-4A radio. I actually have the actual radio, and it is very heavy. I do not recommend using it for cosplay. That is the reason why I actually designed this 3D printed replica, which you can actually get the files to print it yourself for $5 off my Colts 3D. The little thing here I added for the aux cable does not exist on the actual radio. It is something I added to match up what Snake uses in game and in his concept arts. Over here is the actual antenna, which if you do have the actual antenna, the files will include a way for you to attach it like I do on mine, and if you don't, it is going to come with 3D printable antennas that you can use yourself. This is a really cool piece here because it's kind of unknown. Not a lot of people think about it when it comes to Snake cosplay, but if you want accuracy, you're gonna have to get yourself one of these or get the files. I do recommend getting the files. As I said, the real one is pretty heavy. This here is the switch box that Snake uses in the game. I designed it myself to look as accurate as possible. Like some of his other gear, this is a piece of fiction as it's the receiver for his codec. It's very small. There's no way this would have worked back in the 60s. This piece itself doesn't actually work either. It's just plastic. It's 3D printed. It's a dummy. It's a replica. However, it does make a really nice clicking noise, which took me a long time to perfect, but you can buy the file to print this for $2.50 on my Etsy or my Colts 3D, and this will help you complete your look. And last but not least, with all these pieces together, you get Snake's comm system. As stated before, this is his radio. You can get an aux cable to connect to the switch box, and then 2 more aux cables from the top of the switch box to your throat mic. One to the front where the wire goes, and one to the side where the earpiece goes. This is a MetaQuest earpiece that I use to actually use the throat mic when I actually connect it to my cell phone. So this is the wire that actually works, and so does this wire dangling here. Everything else, all these other aux cables are all dummy pieces, so they don't actually work, but they do get that look down, and you will look highly accurate using this.
Just a little heads up is that Ace of Snakes is actually working on a 3D printable version of the microphone, and in fact he's almost done. Once it's ready, I will leave a link to it on my Discord server so you can buy it from him. Alternatively, if you don't want to buy the files for the 3D printable version, you can get a similar model, and I will leave a link in the description to some existing throat mics that you can buy.
This here is the M1916 .45 pistol holster. It is a standard issue black leather holster for .45 caliber pistols. Snake uses the right hand version, which is the accurate version in the game and the one most soldiers received. You can get a left hand version if that's what you want, but we're trying to go for accuracy here. I myself actually am using a replica. You wouldn't be able to tell because of how nice these look, so you can get the original or the replica. If you want to save some money, get a replica and no one's going to be able to tell the difference. This part right here does hook into the pistol belt through the grommets, and it just kind of hangs to the side like that. Easy access ball flap, and this is the one you want to get. This here is a Colt 1911 toy gun. As you can see, it was originally blue, yellow, even bits of orange here. You can see the blue there. That I actually spray painted black, silver, and brown, and a little bit of orange here to have convention compliance rules. You can get this for like $20 off of Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, and it's going to be the best bang for your buck and the closest you're going to get to Snake's gun without having to buy 3D printed replicas or replicas online. I myself am actually going to be releasing files to print a replica of what Snake uses in game, even more closer than this one is. It's not perfect. I haven't finished it yet. I will be releasing it in the future, and that'll be released for free as I'm using other people's blueprints on printables.com, so that's not going to cost you anything, but stay tuned. I will be releasing that within the next few months once I perfect it. This here is a 3D printed CQC knife. The one Snake uses in the game isn't a real knife. It's completely fabricated and fictional. I designed this one myself off of the version that's in Metal Gear Solid 3. You're going to be able to buy the file for my Etsy, my Colts 3D, for only $2.50. In the future, I will be offering a 3D printed version to purchase and the real physical thing as opposed to the file. But this is it, front and back. Handles well. It's nice and ergonomic. You're going to want to get olive drab paracord to wrap around the handle and through the little hole here and make the knot. Regarding the sheath for it, this here is actually not accurate to what Snake uses. Snake uses something very custom made for his knife, as the knife is a custom knife. The one I use is a Marbles 6-inch sheath here with the painted on lines. This holster sheath, I wish I can tell you where I got it, as I cannot even find where I got it anymore. I did have to cut it myself here and the backside to make it a smaller sheath. And I put on some Velcro here to stick onto the harness. And if you can find any good brown straight knife sheath, it's gonna work. Like Snake's CQC knife, the survival knife he has strapped to his leg is actually, it's up for debate of what it actually is. People call it an Ontario knife, combat knife, pilot survival knife. It is from what I look at it, looks like a combination of all those. In fact, the one I have here is a replica, a resin replica from this company called the Fieldworks. And unfortunately, as of 2024, last time I looked them up, they don't exist anymore. And that being said, this isn't even accurate to what Snake has. There's plenty of 3D printable files you can find on Colts 3D, which are more accurate than the one I have. Eventually, I will be designing my own. That might take it a little longer for me to do that. It is not exactly something I want to get to right away, because there's so many better options out there. But look for one on Colts 3D, print it, paint it, use it. For the holster itself, this was actually a replica holster from a Marbles knife that I actually, unfortunately, like the other sheath. I can't find it anymore. But it is based on a pilot survival knife. This is the 6-inch style holster, sheath, excuse me. So if you can find any leather one that looks like this, that's great. You might even have to get this custom made by a shoemaker or a leather maker. What I also do with this is that I put in boot blouses around here in the front where the little slip is, and then as well around here, so it can go around my leg nice and snug. And definitely a very nice piece to have for your cosplay. Probably one of the more harder pieces to get, but if you do find one, recommend getting it. You can't go wrong with it. In fact, you can only go good with it.
There are a few extra items you can get, for instance the eye patch. If you want a good quality replica, then Etsy's the way to go. I'll leave some links to some of those. There are also those calorie mates you can get. These are fun snacks to have. As commented by Ace of Snakes, you can buy them from Japanese Taste for like $60 plus shipping. He tried them all. The cheese one tastes like blue cheese, the chocolate flavored one tastes like a spoonful of cocoa powder, the fruit one tastes like, well, stale lemon cakes, the maple one tastes like pancakes. Plain is unfortunately discontinued, but it tasted like a combo of potatoes and apples. Vanilla, it tastes like a vanilla cookie. Apparently Ace of Snakes' favorite is the maple and the vanilla one. As a bonus, you can keep the calorie mate boxes as props. Also, if you're using the 1956 Buttpack, you can cut an opening off the top of the giant calorie mate box and use it to give the pouch its shape. So, this really just about does it. Before we end off the video, let me just give you a little showcase of other cosplayers who've achieved the peak Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake look. Be sure to check out both me and Ace of Snakes. Links to our socials will be in the description of this video. You can also join my Discord server to find all the useful links to all the items mentioned in this video, as well as the original guide by Ace of Snakes. Thank you all for watching, and until next time everyone.